Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV. And if you are new, please smash that like button, subscribe, and share. If you are new, guys, I am 82 away from 1K. 82 away from 1K. So anybody that's new, that's coming in, or if you know anybody that has not subscribed to Normski TV, listen, I want to get to that 1K before the end of the season. It's a journey, I get it, but I need to get to that destination. Yeah. No, I'm not doing the Arteta stuff here now. This is about me getting to the destination. You get me, people? But look, I'm going to stop mucking back. So I'll tell you why. Because, brothers, I am going to be one busy guy tonight, yeah? Straight after my stream I'm on Big Up to Shane every time, the Bruised Banana that starts at 8:30. So I'm on a little time thing here. And then straight after the Bruised Banana, 9:45, on with the Arsenal mingle with DJ B at 9:45. So this is back-to-back stream. I'm going to be absolutely streamed out. But listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. And listen, look, let me stop talking and let's get our people on. Let's get the people on. Let's get the people. I've got some interesting people on today. Quite a few Man United fans. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because I'm just one of those guys that like to poke the nest. Do you know what I mean? So we've got 3 Man United guys on. I'm hoping that Ez will come on if he's watching. If he's not, we're still going to talk about his team because there's come some sort of parallels, guys. There's some sort of parallels there. So we are going to talk about the Chelsea. And, you know, this is the new year, people. New beginnings. And what comes with new beginnings? Sackings. That's right. Sackings. That comes with new beginnings. We've had, 3 managers that I know of that have been sacked this season. That's Maresca, Ruben Amorim, that Nancy guy from Celtic, and I believe there's another guy that's been sacked, but I've just lost count, people. But listen, big up every time. But listen, let me get, first of all, Mr. Big D, Mr. JP, and listen, my guy is always in our chat every now and again. He comes in our chat and everything. He's a big well, I don't know. Is he a Man United fan? Or is he
I don't know.
Is he a closet Gooner? I don't know. We have to talk about that. We might have to talk about that. Listen, and we've got. I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave this one for D too, because D always sings us in. Go for it. What I do? What did I? I've just lost him. Where's he gone? Okay, Ez was about just come in.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, listen. Ez is going to come in, but I'm going to leave that to Big D to do the money. Listen, people.
Yes, wipe that brow, Leon, because I think you're going to come with some mad take like that.
Okay, let me just get. Ed is just sorting out his camera. It looks like he's having a bit of problems getting in. I don't know if it's because I've got too many tabs open. I'm hoping that's not the case, because this should allow me to do it. I'll see if he can try and come back in. But whilst he's doing that, Ez, if you're watching this thing, just tell me if you're having problems getting in, or is it your side? Just put it in our chat. You know how it goes. Look, before I get onto it, let me just go through the chat, because there's quite a few people in the chat. There's 20 people in the room, in the building. Smash that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. As I said, I'm 82 away from 1K. So come on, guys, get me there. Get me there. Big up to Kwaja, the prez of the mods. That's why I call him Mr. Kwaja. Big up Normski and the panel. And the chat, good evening, everyone. And Kwaja, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, enter in. Gavin, big up to you, bruv. Big up to Normski and the panel. Big up every time. Kwaja, 5 likes so far. So listen, we need to get those likes up. There's 17 people in the building that I can see. Get those likes up. Yeah, get those likes up. Big up to Kwaja Jali, 82 away from 1K. Let's make sure Normski reaches that 1K as soon as possible. Gavin just saying big up to Kwaja. Big up Gavin. Wahaha. Listen, Waha, you might be interested today. Ding dong, the fraud is gone. Which old fraud? The wicked fraud. Well, certain mans on this panel might have something to say about that. So I can see he's studying that monitor, intently. I can't wait for the What's Going On podcast to start every time. Big up to you all the time. Welcome back to Normski. Yeah, I'm back, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you very much, Josie. Big up to you every time. Wahaha. Good evening, Normski United fans. Reek of optimism these. Lord of mercy.
This man's just throwing daggers, man.
Hit the likes and subscribe. Just putting in the links for Wahaha. Suge. It's Suge in the building. Listen, Suge, respect for you, brother, all the way in Australia. Big up to you every time. You know, this guy supports all the channels, and big up to you every time. Kwaja, thanks, Kwaja. Kwaja just saying, no problem. Big up. Suge. Gavin just saying, big up to Suge. Leonie, Big D's sister in the building. Big up.
Yes, Lee.
Every time. Listen, like, we're going to get started. And we're going to just first of all go around the room. I want to go to, first of all, Big D on my, there he is, over there. The one in red. The big brother next to me, yeah? What you saying, man? Big up to you. Happy New Year. What we saying, people? How are you doing, and how has your weekend been?
Happy New Year, man. Been a bit of a mixed feelings of coming into the new year. Lost my mom's brother, my like Uncle Frank, Deacon Frank, to those that know him from Coventry. So I'm shouting out my Coventry cousins in this moment. You know what I mean? Absolute legend. Like I say, from I can walk, I remember Uncle Frank. You know them ones, one of them uncles that never left my mum when all the other uncles dipped back to Jamaica and America. He stayed put in England and kept my mum company with Uncle Johnny. So them three musketeers, just my mum left now. But yeah, we had a good season until that moment, and that is life. You know what I mean? Well, apart from Jason, us man are in our 50s. So we have to expect these things now, that the guys in the 80s and 90s are leaving us, you know.
Sorry,
and I know
lads.
Jason,
Sorry, lads.
yeah, but Jason has experienced that as well. You
soon get there. Don't worry, you soon got it.
Grateful as always to be on Norms, and looking forward to the chat, man.
Yeah, man. No,
looking forward to the conversation, should I say.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting conversation, you know what I mean? Just go through there. I think if you're new to the channel, Leon, Morgan, big up, guys. Please give Leon the part-time menu some links.
Who is that?
I don't know who that is. You know who this geezer is.
That must be David. That's David.
All right. Is that your audio? Your audio sounds a bit. Is that your audio? Or is it me?
No, I think your audio don't sound greatly.
Really, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've gone really distant.
Yeah, a bit like Amarin. Amory, big up. That's
Big up,
right,
Amory.
Jason in his 50s. This is
Don't
Amory.
listen.
This
Don't
is
listen to
Amory going for JP in the 50s. And big up to
you
Ricardo.
ain't reached there yet, man. You got a few more, man.
Amory's older than me, so she knows.
You know, right? You know the ones.
Amory's years older than me.
Okay, yeah.
So Amory knows.
I think Leon's drop time is. I think we hopefully
Big
up
man.
Money.
Finally.
Yeah, man. What you saying is?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on, Normski?
Big up, man.
Yeah,
That's little man, Les. Little man,
Yeah.
Big up, bro.
Doing all right, man. Just making sure he doesn't look at the TV screen too much when Chelsea's playing. But he's all right, man. He's all right. Thank you, JP.
Right.
How's the mic now, gents? Any better on the mic?
Yes, better. That's better. Yeah.
There's some more clarity there, mate.
Yeah. Ricardo. Hi, everybody. It's Ricardo here. So everybody,
Big up yourself, Ricardo.
Big up, Ricardo.
My nephew. Big up every time. Black. I don't know what that means. Question mark. If you're saying something, you know what I mean. If anybody can actually interpret what this brother is saying,
Well, say what you mean, brother.
Say what you mean. Yes, say what you mean. Black.
Say it with chest.
Say it with chest. Yeah. I've got a black t-shirt on. There's 4 black brothers here. So let me know what you're saying, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I'm thinking, so listen, people, if anybody can interpret what this brother is doing or saying, if not, remove him from the chat. I've got the mods in here. If it's what I'm thinking it is, racismo, then bro, you know what to do, people. You know what to do. So I've seen him in other chats as well. He's obviously from another country by the looks of it.
Excuse me.
So, bro, if he's going down that road, as D says, I have to take off the cross, put it down for a bit, and we'll talk. You know what I mean?
Lay down the old rugged cross, you know, my guys.
Quadra just mentioning the lineup for tonight with Crystal Palace, Henderson. They're playing tonight, and then Aston Villa. So Aston Villa away to actually Crystal Palace. So that'll be an interesting game. I don't know if they do too well down there, but like and subscribe to Normski at Metcalf99. Big up to you. If you're the first time in the chat, big up to you. Please subscribe and like the channel. off to the 3-point lane. Okay, all right. 3-point lane. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. Let's hope Aston Villa drop points in this match. Ricardo Topstar with Enzo Musca related. Ruben Amorim sacked. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. And there's a guy in there, somebody dancing. So, well, bro, I'm confused, man. I mean, am I in the Matrix or something, people? I don't know. But listen,
you see his name. Is that actually Russian, Norm? Or guys, is that Russian? It looks Russian. The way it's written.
It could be Russian. It could be Russian. RIP Uncle Frank. This is from Suge.
Yeah, big up yourself, my guy.
A couple of days ago. So yeah, listen. You know, it's not easy. You know, I lost my aunt last year. So condolences to Big D and to the Uncle Frank's family, and obviously to you, Suge. You know what I mean? It's not an easy time, especially when you're coming into the new year and everything. It's not easy. Sue's thinking about you, bro. Yeah, listen, everybody, just put our love heart in that chat. We're thinking about Suge, and yeah, it's not an easy time. JP, how you doing, bruv?
Good, man. Really good.
I guess that you might have been on this show today. Somebody just told me there was a churning in my stomach, and
yeah, man. I said I had some time, and I said I'm on because you know what made me come on as well. A good friend of mine who's coming on here today. He's a United, well, supposedly a United fan, and I just know he's gonna have some take that I don't agree with. I just know it.
Yeah,
right. I don't know who you might be talking about, JP. I've got no idea. You must be talking about Dell. That's all.
I just know it.
Well, listen.
What are you saying, JP, D, Ez? How you all doing anyway?
Great, man.
Yeah, man. Big up to you. Big up to you every time, man. Yeah. Big up to you, everyone.
Online this week, Lee. I meant to holler you.
Oh, yeah. Say it again, JP. I didn't hear you.
I saw you online this week, man. I meant to holler you.
Oh, wicked, yeah.
Going down.
Yeah.
We'll chat you after.
We'll catch up afterwards, bro.
All right, Amorim was straight sabotaging us. This is from Wahaha. Wahaha is a Man United fan. How do you explain going back to 3-4-3 against Wolves and subbing that only threat of half time? Listen, bro. We're going to talk about that. Suge Khawaja, just the same. Thank you, Suge, as well. But look, we're gonna get into stuff. Ez, big up to you every time. Thank you for coming. I know, you're looking after little young one there. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's maybe a good thing that he's not watching Chelsea at this current moment.
No.
It's a tough time. That's why I just said, come from away from the dark side and come to the light, you know what I mean, and you'll be all right. You know what I mean? Every time. I hope you're well, and hope
man,
the missus is well, my niece, and everybody's doing well. And you're getting plenty of sleep. What should I say?
Well, you can see from my eyes, man. I don't know day from night right now. You know what I mean?
Seriously, who is this brother?
Look, mate. I don't know what you are, whatever. If you got another account, so listen. Somebody in the chat, deal with this, please. Yeah, because I'm not gonna entertain it because I don't know what he's talking about. Your rap music. What do you mean your rap music? What you on about, brother? Please talk to me. So somebody time him out, or you know, people. Do your jobs. I will update the Norski with the scores. Thank you, Khawaja, for that. Absolutely, thank you for that. Because if this brother, I've seen him in other chats, so I don't know what he's on about. So if I
definitely Russian. It's definitely Russian language.
Yeah, it's definitely and he's trying to okay. Fernandez, Mount, Mainu. Whoa, okay, right.
I haven't seen the lineup yet. They're just in the squad.
Right. Yeah, somebody take this brother out because he's saying 50 Cent. I don't just take somebody time him out or whatever, please. I don't know if he's on the other thing because I've got two things going. I've got the landscape.
Yeah, is it on both, Norm? It's on both. I'm seeing it. Yeah, all the stuff's coming up in the other side as well.
If you can time him out or do something, I appreciate it. I'm not. As a matter of fact, what I won't do is now just click on his thing. If it comes out, I'll just on it because I ain't got time for that. But look, let's get into business. Where's my Where's my Okay, let's find it here. All right, yeah. On tonight's menu, guys, you would have seen it. Obviously, I put it in our chat. We're gonna, as we do, look at the Prem over the last couple of days and whatever. I'm not going to go into game week 19. Just going to probably go over some of the games for game week 20. So, it's Prem review, player ratings. And one of the questions I've put, and we want to talk about this, is Arsenal to is it Arsenal's to lose, the Prem's Arsenal to lose, or do we just press the brakes a little bit on this? Because a lot of top gooners are getting a little bit too carried away about we're going to do the quadruple and do all this madness and whatnot. So I think we just need to just calm down. You know what I mean? Just calm down a bit, yeah, because you know we go back to 22 season. This is the shirt, our away shirt. In that 22, I believed that we was going to win it, but we bottled it. 8 points. At 1 point, we were 7 points clear of Man City. All right, fair play. They drew against Everton. I'm not Everton to Chelsea. Didn't expect that. I mean, this is the faith that Ez had in his team. When we do our predictions, Ez said, what did he say, Ez?
4-0 City.
4-0 City. So, bro, to get that 1-1 draw, you must have been as surprised as Matisse. You know what I mean? The new Liam, the new manager, for Chelsea.
Yeah,
You know
I didn't know
what way that man favoured? What way you favour Liam Senior though? Jeez, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Matisse.
You know what I'm trying to say? Well, listen, big up to Matisse every time. But yeah, and then we're gonna look at Ref Watch if there's any controversies that you felt that went against your team at the weekend. Then we can talk about it. If not, we can move from that. Yeah, this is the one. If you speak out, you get the sack. You know where I'm going with this one, people. Maresca and Amram, did they make the right choice? Let's talk. Did they make the right choice? Let's talk. January window now open. Which clubs will be busy and why? And lastly, what's going on? Prediction results. Game week 19 and 20. There's going to be a combination. And Big D will be doing the what's going on fantasy Prem shout out. So look, let's get into the games on Saturday. And I suppose what we could do, let's talk about Arsenal and probably deal with that question. Arsenal go away to Bournemouth. Now, Man City had the big chance to close the gap on us, and they would have played again before us because they're playing tonight. They're playing Brighton at home. So if they had won that game, or if they win the game tonight, should I say, they would have been 1 point. It's amazing after you drop. That's back to back now. They'd have drawn 2 games back to back. That game, as we can sort of amalgamate that with the conversation we're going to have about Bournemouth and Arsenal. But look, we went away to Bournemouth. Now Bournemouth, have been up and down. Semenyo is, I think, if he's not signed for Man City already, he's having his medical.
Tomorrow, isn't it?
He's gonna.
He's playing tonight. He's playing tonight for Bournemouth.
Oh, okay. So how does that work then?
Is he?
He's having his medical plan for tomorrow. His medical's tomorrow.
It's a strange agreement.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is a strange agreement. Yeah.
But apparently, in the agreement, he had to play. Apparently, this has been wrapped up for ages. But he had to play against Arsenal, Spurs, and Chelsea. And this is the last one. Spurs is the last one.
All right, fair play. All right then. Okay then. Well, look, we played a bit. Apart from his long throws, he didn't really do much.
No, he didn't care. He's at City. I don't get it. I don't get.
I don't know if that was an advantage for us, but let me say this. The first couple of minutes of that game. Listen, Gabriel Magalhaes had a bit of a bozo moment. Look, he's one of our best players in the club. For me, he should be captain. He should be captain over this side. And he gives the ball away. What he was doing, I have not the scoobiest idea. I think the ball was, I can't remember who played the ball back to him. He's gone to play the ball to Timber, and somehow he's literally passed it to Even Isla.
It's almost like a miss kick. It's almost like a miss kick.
Yeah. And I think what happened is Raya went to make an angle for him and this playing out the back, people. Look, Arsenal. I think Arsenal probably one of the teams that play the slowest build-up play out of the back, and it frustrates me because teams can always get back in their positions, and then we find it hard to break them down because we literally play in front of them rather than try and hit them on the break or move the ball quicker. So in that instance, when he gives the ball away and it's the easiest goal you'll ever get, and you're thinking to myself, but he redeems himself. He scores, well, it wasn't a set piece; it was from open play. And he scores in the 16th minute to make it 1-1. And then from there on in, not to say that we had the control of the game because the thing about a Bournemouth, which is good, is that they don't play with a low block, so they will always give you chances. But one thing I can say about Bournemouth is that they do like to, close you down. They don't give you time on space on the ball. Plus, playing down there is a very small pitch, and so you don't get the time that is aided to you to do it. So that's why you want to move the ball quick and everything. You got the crowd on top of you as well. But look, Declan Rice, Captain Rice, you know what I mean? I've got some top goonism calling. He's a Terminator. He's a machine. But listen, you have to take care of this machine, because I'm telling you, if he doesn't, the bottom will drop out on this guy, because literally this guy is everywhere. He gets a brace in that game, scores in the 54th minute, an assist from Martin Odegaard, who started to find his feet. And then he scores again in the 71st minute, 3-1 up, comfortable sailing. Thing about Arsenal, we always do this. We always allow the teams, we allow them onto us, and so we sit back and then they pressure us, and the next thing they get that goal back. A guy, I can't remember, I think it was Junior Kruk, came on in that game. And I think within about a minute, 2 minutes, he gets a goal. Martin should have been tracking his man. He didn't track him. It ends up being 3-2. And, we win the game 3-2. And that's after, I say Man City before was playing early in the afternoon. And that was against Chelsea's Ez's Chelsea. And looking at that, is Arsenal, what I'm essentially saying is that is this Arsenal lose? I said it last week, Paul Merson saying it's probably going to be one of the easiest title races. And I think you got to press your brakes on this. What are your views about how Arsenal's playing? Because when you look at the games, we haven't been brilliant, but we seem to be doing enough to get it over the lines. I just wanted to sort of start with Big D first of all. Just what you thought about the game, and do you see us throwing this away? Is it ours to lose essentially, or are we writing off Man City too early? That's the thing.
Right. So in another group chat, I was asked about this by Liverpool fans, and I was saying, bar injuries, as in key injuries to the core, the way Arsenal are grinding out the results, even when they're not been playing that well, it's theirs to throw away. Norm, it's used man to throw away, because I think Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea are too inconsistent in terms of you're not sure what team's going to show up with them, even though they're all capable of runs, especially Man City and Liverpool. They're both, those teams are both capable of stringing runs together. Now, I think I said to you, Norm, in a phone call that with Arteta, he has a thing where he starts to overthink it when he's ahead. So does this happen again? Has he learned from previous season's mistakes to not gamble and rotate the team properly, especially when the Champions League kicks in? So for me, and the thing is, if you ask me, out the three, dare I say it, I want you lot to win it, because I don't want the Blue Mats to win it, and I certainly don't want Liverpool getting number 21 on anyone's watch, you know what I mean? So that's what. So selfishly, by default, either you or Chelsea can win it by default. I don't want Liverpool or Man City anywhere near it, and so that's just that's my take on it. Only injuries, I think, will trip you guys up, or Arteta overthinking when it comes to Champions League when that gets re-entered.
The problem with that though is Liverpool ain't going to win it this season. Neither are Chelsea going to win it this season. So it's only Man City that can take it from Arsenal.
Don't disagree. Agree with that.
They're the only team that will do it. I mean, even Aston Villa are on the same points as Man City right now. I'm looking at the table on my other screen. So Aston Villa are on the same points, but nobody really thinks that Aston Villa are going to have the minerals to see it when it comes down to crunch time. I mean, I think it is Arsenal's to lose. You guys are playing absolutely the best football of the Premier League this year. But I tell you what, 6 points in this league is 6 points is nothing. 6 points is nothing. It's yours to lose. But we've all been around long enough to know that 6 points with 5 months to go, it's not done. It's not done by any stretch of the imagination.
That's good. Perfect.
Yeah, I've got the same sort of views as Wahaha. Best football. I wouldn't necessarily say the best football. I can maybe count on one hand like Leeds, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest in terms of playing one up. We don't play full 90 minutes playing that kind of like putting teams to bed and that. And you know, we've had games where, you know, you look at the Wolves games. That was 2 own goals in that game. Do you know what I mean? It took 2 own goals for us to win that game. You know, all the goals were scored by Wolves. The Chelsea game where they were down to 10 men and we couldn't finish our dinner with them, ends up in a draw. So I'm looking at the games and it feels as if we're plodding over the line, and I want to see us step it up again. You know, we do it in spits and spouts, and I want to see it more consistently. I look at Man City and even Aston Villa to that point, because for me, Aston Villa, when they went on that 11-game unbeaten winning run, yeah, until we went and put the spanner in the works, I thought they were playing a lot better. They got a better midfield than us, and I was worried in that particular game, because with Declan Rice being out, I thought, well, you know what I mean, we ain't gonna have a chance. And Nana went off. He was going through us like a hot knife through butter in that first half. He goes off injured. We come out second half, totally different team. I don't know what Arteta said to him, or the team took it on themselves, but that's the football that I want to see us play. Whether we're going to be able to see, you know, 90 minutes of it, I don't think we haven't got that in us. Yeah. You know, but what I would like us to do is start like that in games, put teams to bed, and then control the game, because that's like Arteta's narrative is to control the game. So he talks about dominance of the game and that, but a lot of the times when I see teams set up in their 4-2-3-1 or whatever, we always set up 4-3-3, which is very predictable. We always, when I'm watching the game with my eyes, it always seems like the opposition are winning the ball in the middle of the park, and that's where the key things are. You know, we do well on our set pieces, I get that and everything like that, but it's like we're just scraping over the line. So look, 18 games to go. You know, people will say, well, if we're playing like that and we haven't got out first gear, which I always talk about it, or we've lost who we lost? JP. Yeah. 18 games to go, and it doesn't seem like we've played in, you know what I mean? We've played in first gear, and we need to you know, we need to get out from that and play, you know, much better. And just move this around. Sorry about this. So yeah, so I hear what you're saying, Leon, but I just don't think, I don't know what JP, what you want to say on that.
I find it hard, and you know this, Norm. I find it hard listening to Arsenal fans moaning all the time about the way they play and their results. The 6 points top of the league, but like, will you win the title is a different question. I get the question, and I think you will. Sadly, I'd rather City win it, and I'm a United fan.
Oh my God! Well, even with 115, yeah, I know you got this 115 thing about them.
I don't. Yeah, well, you know how I feel about that, but I don't know any City fans. Every City fan I know is like 10 years and under, so it doesn't matter to me when they win. Right, it doesn't.
I hear that, bro. I hear that.
It doesn't matter to me.
That's exactly the reason. I live in North London, bro. I cannot take Arsenal winning the league this season.
No way, mate. No way.
You sure?
I'm
sure?
straight. I'm straight up.
Listen, you see Leon, right? Leon is going to that parade if Arsenal win the thing. Make no mistake.
Of course,
he's taking his youngers with him, and he can put the red t-shirt on.
I remember a few years ago seeing him on AFTV. I remember him sending us links in our man's them, right, when he was on AFTV. Yeah.
See, this is the thing. This is why I don't even want to put the man.
Don't forget, the streets don't forget, brother.
He's gonna come out the closet, boy. He's gonna reveal himself to us, isn't it?
One day I will.
No, but no, I say that because I think we just, you know, look, if somebody just said that we'd be top of the league, blah blah blah, you bite your hand off for that. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, Arsenal and Arteta don't handle pressure very well.
But I think, but Norm, sorry to cut you, Norm, but I think the big difference is alluding to what Dee said earlier. This City team's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same one that chased you down when you were 8 points clear or whatever it was. I don't think they're the same team.
No. And you look at Rodri as well.
They picked up a couple of injuries now. Gabriel is out now, I think, for 5 months, broken leg or whatever it is.
Solid defender, man.
There's another, I think, who else is that? I think they got 2 or 3 players out. So you know, that could, I'm not saying it's going to scupper their chances, but you know what I mean, it may give us a slight advantage, but we can only beat ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And Arteta has to do the right thing in terms of rotation. Declan Rice can't keep going the way he's going. Listen, he's a fantastic player. That guy covers every blade of grass, guys. Yeah, but at some point, you remember the game where he didn't play in Aston
Playing
Villa
out his
game.
skin. He's playing out his skin this year.
And he pointed to his knee. His knee's swollen because he got picked up that injury. He picked up that injury against Brentford.
Yeah.
They kept him out, but then he features in the next game. No, I don't know if they give him injections or drain.
Yeah, he's taking injections.
You know what I mean? And he's like integral. He's integral to our team, and so he has to rotate Declan and that. And then you're looking at players like Eze. You're looking at players like Ethan Renner, who's not even getting a look in. Kai Havertz has been out for 5 months. People, he comes back. Ethan is out of the squad. Yeah. And then you don't see him in the next game, and people say, "Well, what's happened to Kai Havertz? Where is he?" Oh, they're managing his load, his training load, and stuff like that. This guy's come back from a knee injury, having a third whatever tear on his hamstring and stuff like that. He's not going to be the same player. And to be perfectly honest, Ez knows, because he didn't put up trees at Chelsea, and I couldn't believe we was getting this player, in that 23-24 season. I was thinking, what we're doing here, but. It's man, and when he does come back, when he does come back, he's going to be nudging Glock out the way, because Glock at the moment is just not firing. Unfortunately, we can blame the system, but Glock has to take some of the responsibility as well. So you've got Gabriel Jesus, yeah, you know what I mean. So
it's a tough league, though, Norm. We're seeing the same goals with Sesko. I mean, and if you look at Erland's blanked 3 game weeks on the bounce. Haaland, So a lot of people are putting the captain's armband on him. He's blanked 3 on the bounce, which is kind of unheard of. So it just tells you how for him. I know, but what I'm saying is it does tell you that in general, the league defenders are better. If you can manhandle this brother, who we say is a machine, and have him go blank 3 games in a week, no goals, no assists.
How much goals he scored this season, D?
I know, but what I'm saying.
I'm just saying though,
the man's got 19. He's got 19 goals. Our top goal scorer is got 5 goals.
But he's blanked 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, but that's only 3 games.
Yeah, that happens.
No, but he's a machine. That's what I'm saying. He's a machine. So when a machine does that, and then you got strikers coming in.
Machines do have malfunctions every now and again.
I don't even think the defenders are that great in the league. So
I don't.
What I would say, guys, and I think you have to agree with me, and I've spoken about it with D, and we've spoken about it on our shows, that when you look at the strikers, today's strikers compared to the strikers in the mid 2000s, 90s, 80s,
night and day, isn't it?
Night and day. And I'm talking about a plethora of strikers, not the odd one at air, because if you look in the league now, the next top goal scorer is Thiago. Is it Igor?
Yeah, Brentford.
From Sunderland, yeah.
Brentford. 11 goals. Yeah. 11 goals.
Thiago.
Yeah.
Thiago.
Right, so the actual, just general, right across the board, right across.
I think he packed 2 of them in against us.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And he scored a hat trick.
He got a hat trick.
Yeah.
I actually benched him, guys, because he hadn't scored for weeks. I benched him and he scored a hat trick. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you doing here, bro? He mugged me off hard, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's life, innit?
No, but you know what I mean? So I think sometimes on Arsenal, we just need to, the thing is, I don't care about stats. Stats don't win me a title. In other words, I've got you. Shane, big up Shane Guna. I'm going to be on his Bruce Banana straight after this show. So big up to Shane. And Shane sent me this thing, and basically, and this is why I think some of these journalists are absolutely tapped. They're asking him and saying, "Do you think that this team is better than the Invincibles?" Now, Arteta came out and said, "Well, actually, no, because we have to win titles. We have to be lifting trophies. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Not the fact that we had the most points in a calendar year, or we've gone on whatever that whatnot. There's all of these things." I don't care, because at the end of the day, the only person that lifts the title last season was Liverpool. The season before that, season before that, 4 in a row, Man City. Yeah, and that first season where we bottled it, and they chased us down, and then we tried to chase them down, we couldn't do it, and then last season we didn't even challenge. So I don't care about having it. At one point at the start of the season, they were talking about us having we need to go and beat Chelsea's defensive record. Who cares? Is that going to win me a title? No, it's not. So that's over now. Yeah, put all those to bed. Let's just do it. And the thing for me, the Carabao Cup is coming up soon. We're going to be playing Chelsea in a couple of weeks' time over 2 legs. I want us to go there. They've got a new manager in Liam Mousinho, and
I hope he does well. Big up
to the manager
within
time,
reason.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. I hope he does well within reason. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose we want to go and win that Carabao Cup because that's a platform for us to then try and see if we can go on and try and win the Premier League or, saying quote commas the Champions League, which I think maybe possibly Barcelona or Bayern Munich might have something to say about that. So, we just the top Arsenal fans just need to just calm down and just stop getting, because the thing about it, I look at the games and I think to myself, we could have done better here and that. As soon as you talk about Arteta, you're negative, you hate Arteta. I don't hate Arteta. It's wrong for me to hate Arteta. I just don't think he was the right person for this club. Now, guys, if you're looking for a manager, Man United, he's right here for you. You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? And we will come on to Man United. That's going to be the main segment of the show, so don't worry about that. So we'll move on to Ez. Ez, you didn't have a hope in hell of Chelsea going to Man City after the mad Maresca news. And the thing is, what was just interesting in the game, and I don't know if you saw the game, is
I watched it. Yeah.
When that last minute goal winning from Enzo, and you saw Pep and you saw the players, it was almost like, have we messed this up? That was because you had Pep consoling. My little nephew. You had Pep consoling Foden. You know what I mean? The cameras are panning around to them. Normally, when they win their games, they're going over to the crowd. It's almost like they know we got this. But that particular game, to go and lose to a Chelsea side, that didn't have an interim manager, under 21 manager, is not doing too well with his under 21s. He goes there, and I think he must have just turned around and said to him, "Just go out." He changed it a little bit second half. They sat back.
Yeah.
What are you saying about that game? And then we will talk about the situation with Maresca. And that will nicely move into the Man United segment as well.
I think it's interesting how the media want to spin it, isn't it? Like, I think in short, City knows the opportunity missed. They should be beating a Chelsea that can't beat. We can't beat Sunderland. We you know what I mean? We don't beat Bournemouth. You know, these are the teams we're drawing and losing to. And City should be. I think they're at home, right? They're at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Like I think someone like Haaland should be putting them charges that he had to bed and them sort of things. So they know they should have beaten us. I don't think we played particularly well either, but we did well not to lose, to the point where I said it before, even in another group chat, I said 5 or 6 nils, if I'm honest. So I mean, for me, I don't know, it's bittersweet for me in short, because I don't want to help you lot out, Normski. But I didn't want to lose either, because, you know, I'm supporting my team. So look, it's a bit of a madhouse at Chelsea. That match kind of got drowned out by everything else that's happening outside of football. Outside of the match itself, not outside of football. I don't know. I'm still not really happy about the Maresca thing. I'm shocked. But some people turn around and tell me that my club's got standards. I genuinely don't think they know what they're doing.
So can I just ask you a question, Ez? Ask you a question. Was he resigned, right? He didn't get sacked though. Well, isn't it?
He might as well have got sacked, but he walked. He did walk. He walked away from it.
He's not 14 million, right? Yeah,
he walked away from it.
He didn't get a payoff.
Well, he resigned.
He said he resigned on the basis that he's being judged both internally and externally on parameters that are not fair. For example, they didn't get him the players that he asked for. Okay, that happens to every manager, but now he's paying the price when Tosin passes the ball to Leeds and we lose 3-1. Okay, Tosin Adebayo, who's starting for my team tonight, was the one that let Sunderland come and sneak in 2 goals against us. Yeah, and he's done that time and time again. He's cost us results. The same guy I'm talking about. And Maresca's saying, "Well, you're judging me internally. It's not even just outside noise. If it was just outside noise, that's something else. When Carragher and Gary Neville's got something to say, but internally they're going, wait a minute, we're meant to be titled. We're meant to be going for the title. We're meant to be going for top 4. We're meant to be winning this and winning that. And he's saying, well, you're not giving me the thing. They're telling him what players he can play and can't play for resale value. If you read The Athletic, he needs to be playing certain players so that we can sell them on, which makes sense because we sell 15 to 20 players every summer. I've done it for the last 2 years, made over 300 million. Okay. Yeah. He can't play and not play certain players based on that. It's not about tactics. It's about who needs to be seen to be looking decent so we can get an extra 10 million in the summer. He can't use certain players until the medical team tell him.
I was going to say, what was the situation with that? There was a lot of noise around.
No, don't get me wrong. It's always been the case that the medical scientists, the physio, sports scientists give a recommendation on when a player is deemed fit versus not fit. But ultimately, the buck comes down to the manager and what his assessment is of that player in trading and all of the rest. But in this case, Maresca himself can be penalised if he's not in line with what the medical team are telling him. He can get fined, he can get punished, and he can breach his contract to the stage where he can get sacked and not get paid off because of his breach of contract. It's a performance thing. And now this is where football's going mad, because you've got managers that used to, answer to the owners, and then you've got managers that dealing with the directors, and then the directors that are feeding into the sports scientists, and all kind of here's another joke. We've got a motivational coach, okay, who is his background is rugby. He comes from a rugby field, and he's bringing all his expertise from rugby to motivate these guys into winners. Nothing to do with football. Nothing to do with football. Just a mental coach, and the manager has to leave segments in his training for this guy to come and do his pep talk. Right. Football's gone mad. Football has gone mad.
Sorry, let me just come in here. So look, Maresca was installed to be a coach, not a manager. It's a coach, isn't it? So in terms of the decisions, that's made by the owners in terms of what players you get. Yeah. The talk about players coming back from injury now. The Cole Palmer situation is a classic one.
Yeah. Gets taken off.
What's the context around the whole medical staff and the fact that blame is being portioned?
It's still money, Norms. So the managers need to be fed into this medical team so that we're keeping players fit, because you can't sell on injury-prone players. You can't sell them on. So Cole Palmer, even though he's one of our best players, if someone comes with 150 million, he's gone. He's gone. If someone comes with 120 million, he's gone. So it's about protecting your best assets, whether they're performing or not. And that's I don't know if you notice, Reece James has to play a certain amount of minutes. Fofana has to play a certain amount of minutes. These are players that they're kind of got in cotton wool, all for the sake of protecting their resale value, not because they want to really keep him fit so that they're at the top of their game. Because
that's what happens when you have a hedge fund people running.
Chelsea's broken.
I'm telling you, JP. I'm telling you guys, everyone on the panel, everyone at home, this thing has gone too mad, and they want to prove to be one of the first to ever do it, so that people copy the model and things like this. But look, it's not something that's sustainable. It's not something that I get behind, and therefore I'm very upset about Maresca. I think Maresca will go to a top club, and he will be successful there. Because if anything, I've got him down as overperforming in this Chelsea situation. I can tell you that because Potter's come, gone. Lampard's come, gone. Pochettino's come, gone. And in fact, Tuchel walked, Pochettino walked, and Enzo Maresca's walked.
When I asked the question about who's to blame on my Insta, I put it on there, who's to blame in all of this, because Maresca has spoken, and every manager in this January month who had a rant in a press conference has seen their P45, and this thing of the owners, need to stay in their lane and whatnot. And I suppose the question is, was it wrong? Was it right or wrong for Maresca to speak? And I'll be posing that kind of same question.
Maresca didn't care because Maresca didn't want to be there anymore.
The difference is Maresca walked. That's the difference.
Yeah, he didn't want to be there.
JP, when man like David Ornstein, who's not like Fabrizio, David Ornstein only tweets or puts things out every now and then. When Ornstein goes out and says Man City's preparing for Maresca to succeed Pep Guardiola. You know the guy that did the 4-peat, remember? Yeah, him. Yeah. When you get them sort of clouts there saying that Man City will take you up should you become available, well, you don't need to answer to no Chelsea will trying to micromanage you. You mad? You've gone crazy. And over there, the freedom.
Just at the bottom, if you read at the bottom there, sorry to cut in there, it says the club believes that Maresca's decision to speak to City about the possibility of replacing Pep Guardiola if he leaves the Etihad Stadium as well as returning to his former club. Is that, and they're saying that was disrespectful. So
that's the club spin.
Is this a lie?
That's the club spin. That's think about it. Maresca didn't come out to the media once and say, yeah, I'll be open to this or that or la 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 la. That's the club's PR stunt to sort of spin their side of the story. At the end of the day, everyone gets tapped up. What do you think? Semenyo magically is going to City because Bournemouth didn't know there was it? This all happens. It all happens. You think Man United ain't tried to tap up Glasner in this meet? Of course they have. Of course they have. Yeah. No, I mean I'm not saying he's their star one, but this happens. Okay, when you're doing well, clubs show interest, and it's not this magic period. Like, tell me when is a good time to talk to him? What, in the summer? Would that have been a bit better? And it's not in the summer. Is that a bit better? No, it's something that happens. I personally just to wrap it up. I personally think Chelsea is broken, and now they've made it look like they're in control of all of this. When managers walk away, your project probably smells a bit. It probably smells a bit. That's it. And you try winning a Club World Cup versus PSG with Tosin and Liam Delap. You give it a go.
I suppose what's interesting with this current regime compared to Abramovich and that, under Abramovich, did he just allow for the football heads to just get on and do what they need to do rather than them? Because they seem to be liking to put their fingers in the pie and disrupting this whole thing. Because I'm looking at this Chelsea side who's spent. Whoa, are we talking now nearly 2 billion, if not more?
We need a whole new show to talk about the money spent. We need a whole we need a whole new show. Yeah, I mean, I might have to start my own thing and invite you guys on that to get into that because we won't get onto the Man United and Amarim.
Yeah, just call it the money S show. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? I'm making some theme music and everything.
Yeah,
but look, I think but Abramovich ran this not like a business. Yeah,
he ran it because he loved the football club.
He's getting his money from Russia. We don't have to get into that today, but you know what I mean, this was not a business for him. It was his toy, and whatever we like to do in our downtime to get our little fun and all of that. This was his. Chelsea was his little fun. You know what I mean? The business, if you can make money, that was secondary. Winning was what made Mr. Abramovich happy, and that's why he sacked Ancelotti in the tunnel. He went winning. Off you go. Next one. And that was his way. Didn't care about the sustainability. It wasn't his business. Didn't care about balancing the books apart from, whatever he needed to do just to be compliant. Just about. Obviously, that's not sustainable to all of our clubs. We're all American owned. Literally, all of us here are American owned. All kind of got some sort of other backing and things like that, consortiums and them things. They can't run like that. But these guys are just taking it too far. They're acting like they've seen this model work somewhere else, and it's something.
But they have.
What in baseball?
In American football and stuff. That's where the model comes from.
Exactly.
Brother, I don't think they realize that this English football thing is
just different. It's different gravy.
And they stand on their sword as well. They're wrong and strong. You would think by now they would realize what 3 billion spent.
Is there going to be a protest as well? I heard there's going to be a protest.
Useless protest. What protest norms? They're going to still go to the match. You know what my lot are like? They like to protest what time's that kick off? 7:30. They'll protest all evening from 5 till 7:30 and then go and still buy the pints and go and buy a pack of pie and still go and buy the you know what I mean? They'll still go and sit in them seats. And that's not going to happen. It's useless. What's that done?
Does this man in the frame solve the problem? Mr. Liam Rossini, coming from Strasbourg, one of the sister or what's the name clubs that he's come from, and I think Gary O'Neill now has gone there, ex-Wolves manager. Right. Does this guy what is the reasoning behind this 6.5? Look, I know. Yeah, I said in the chat they're going to flip him and try and get profit out of this guy. They put him on a 6.5-year contract. Liam Rossini, who managed Hull. And obviously was managing Strasbourg. What's the thinking behind this?
I'm gonna give you a silly answer and a serious answer.
Sorry, Ez, before you answer that, was he doing well at Strasbourg?
Yeah, he took them from like a bottom half of the table side. Now they're in Europe, and he's doing all right. And they've got the same model over there. That's like the dummy club where we send a lot of these players. For example, Chilwell's at Strasbourg right now. Ben Chilwell and a couple of our youngsters that we brought over. They're coming from Strasbourg, really. So he's kind of
multi-club ownership, isn't it? Yeah.
So, but they know they can puppet this guy. They know that because he's taken.
Clearly.
Oh, absolutely, and he's ex-Brighton, which is also a good thing with Chelsea and Brighton history.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? They've known this guy since 16. I won't say anything about that, but they've known him. Yeah, I've got this is my silly answer though. My silly answer is this man could do no wrong in my eyes. Yeah, he's if he loses 6-0 to Charlton on Saturday, unlucky Liam. Do you know what I mean? No problem. Yeah, because black guy in charge of Chelsea. The irony in that. Yeah. The irony in that alone, I didn't think you asked me that 10, 15 years ago, no chance. So Liam, you got my back in. It's not his fault. If you ask me to be Chelsea manager tomorrow, I'll say yes too. So over to you, Liam. He's got my support, but the clowns above him, and this is what I'm asking you to do, Normski, about Arsenal. The clowns above him that are running the show, I'm on to you. That should be where all the rest of the fans look, because apart from the Club World Cup, which Enzo Maresca brought here, this club has got no clue as to what success even looks like if they're going to sack that guy. And they're sacking him for them not delivering their promises. You know, they said we'll give you won the Club World Cup, we'll give you Osimhen, we'll give you a centre back, we'll give you a new goalkeeper. And they did. Yeah. And maybe you can deal with the medical side of it if they're giving him top players to work with. Then
so essentially, Chelsea just need somebody that they, in the.
Oh, we're done, Norms. Norms, we're done. Well, I'm not coming on here hoping anymore. I'm coming on here to talk about Arsenal. I'm going to come here and talk about Man United, Liverpool. Liam Rosino, with all due respect, I don't expect titles. I don't expect even Champions League football. I'm just going to be here for vibes. And
he's just a yes man. He's just a yes man.
We're Brighton now. We're literally Brighton. Literally. So I'm coming in here. I'm going to lower my chest a bit. I'm going to take the world champs out of my name next week. And I'm just gonna chill out.
Yeah,
I'm being serious, brother. But how can I take this seriously?
I hear you.
Trust me. Bro. And if I will be back here as well. If he does really well, if he goes on a 15-game unbeaten run and he wins me a cup, I'll be on and I'll say, Mr. Liam, I'm sorry. And Mr. Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, I'm so sorry that I spoke out of turn. Until then, I've been here since 2022, gents. Yeah, my club was liquidated. They couldn't put petrol in the van to get them up to the Midlands for games. Yeah, trust me, it's dark. So the glasses might even come back out, but I don't expect anything. That's my last. I'm not taking any more.
All right, fair play. And running parallel alongside that, this manager, I mean, he didn't want to walk away and resign. As a matter of fact, when he did get the sack, he had the biggest smile on his face walking out with his wife on a nice snowy day, and I think probably this was probably one of the reasons why they gave him the heave ho. He came out and said, Man United boss Ruben Amorim said he's a manager and not a head coach. After being questioned on his ability to manage the club, Amorim hinted at frustrations regarding the club's transfer plans prior to the 1-1 draw with Leeds. Now, there's obviously a lot more to that. Now, Ez did put something in our chat because he said he's the manager. Well, Chelsea had something to say about that because, as you can see, Ruben Amorim has departed role as head coach of Man United.
They made a point on that, didn't they? They made a point.
It's not even a point though, because that was his job title.
That was his job title,
yeah. He was the first head coach that we had in God knows how long.
Yeah.
So I didn't even see why it was a thing.
So let's look at some other reasons why he could have got the heave-o, or maybe why certain fans wanted him out and certain fans think, well, no, you need to give him a chance. So I'll put this first one up first of all. Yeah. Touchline says here that Ruben Amorim Premier League record, 47 games played, 15 wins, 19 losses, 13 draws. And if we look at all competitions, 63 matches, 25 wins, 15 draws, and 23 losses.
What they need to show is goals scored and goals conceded. That's
that would be good. I just didn't want to put myself through that. You know what I mean? But not only that. What's his name saying? Waha saying 5 at the back v 10 men. Listen, bro, well, go on there. I just don't know what's going on with this man. Look, I was gutted to see this guy go. I wanted him to stay. So I might be in the Leon Brown camp there. But yeah, I'm sure Leon will defend him. But when you look at this record, you know, this is crazy because when you go to the standards of Fergie, you know, most successful decorated manager in the Premier League in history, and this guy is probably the worst manager since World War II. Let's just say that again, guys. If anybody was around in World War II, it was a tough time. This manager is the worst manager in World War II. So with all of that said, guys, yeah, I need to just get your opinion on whether Ruben was wrong for speaking out, or is it the manager? Is it Ineos? Is it the Glazers? Who is to blame in all of this massive saga? Is it wrong for the owners to have gone and sacked Ruben Amorim? Should he have kept him? When you look at his stats and what he's done with the team, you have to ask yourself a question, bro. If it was me, I would probably sack him. But there's certain men that want to keep him on there. So I'll tell you what, because Leon is our special guest, I'm going to get Leon to talk about why he thinks that the owners were wrong to sack Ruben Amorim. Listen, everything that we say, we have to respect our opinions. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. So anybody in the chat, please, just keep it calm and everything.
I thought you were talking to me there, Norms.
Norms, you need to take your own medicine there when I'm talking about Arteta, Norms.
I keep it calm. What are you talking about, brother? What you need? What you dealing with? Yeah. So Waha saying on the pitch performances were dreadful. Absolutely. So Mr. Brown, will talk to us. Why do you think it was wrong for Ruben to be shown the door? Based on what I've just shown you there.
Look at JP. JP sitting up his chair, getting ready for a fight, innit, JP? You're getting ready, innit, Jay? JP's getting ready for a fight, though.
Because I can't believe it. But go ahead, Lee.
All right, listen. Let me break it down to you like this. Yeah, there's no doubt whatsoever that this guy was a terrible manager in terms of his performances on the pitch. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever. But I tell you what, when I listen to Ez talk about his club, for me, he could basically have just changed the word Chelsea with the word Man United, because every way he described his club in terms of the way they've been managed from the top is our problem. Man United don't have a manager problem. They've got a governance problem. And since Alex Ferguson left, the governance of our club has been absolutely atrocious, right? So I looked at some stats. The 5 years before the Glazers took over, we were a profitable company. We were a profitable team. The Glazers took over and immediately they saddled our club with £550 million worth of debt. Okay, so that's what they call a leveraged buyout. They saw an asset which had no debt, and they said, we're going to take this asset and we're going to apply debt to it. And we're essentially going to take that debt for ourselves. And that's the start of the problem, essentially. And we've gone through 10 managers, 10. Some of those managers were very, very decent managers. You look at Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal's a decent manager. You look at Mourinho. Mourinho is a decent manager. You can't tell me that we've been through 10 managers since Alex Ferguson left in 2013, and that this is a managerial problem. All right. So when it came down to Amorim leaving, there's no doubt that he didn't have that he wasn't performing on the pitch, but we knew what we were getting into when we signed Ruben Amorim. He didn't want to come in the middle of the season in November. He said, wait until the summer. And the reason why he wanted to wait until the summer is so he could have 2 full summers of, he could have a summer, he could have a January transfer window, he could have another January transfer window. That's why he didn't want to come in the middle of the shit. Excuse the language. Yeah. I know there's some people watching that would have been surprised to hear me say that. But
no, they won't.
He didn't want to join the club in the middle of a season when he knew it was all going wrong. Okay. So I think it's very, very unfair the way he was treated. He's a system manager. The system did not seem to be working straight away, but he was there for a rebuild, and he didn't get the support that he needed to do the rebuild. I think they pulled the trigger too early. I think and here's the other thing. Let me say one more thing, right? Let me say one more thing. They fired him and given him 15 million instead of giving him 25 million to buy the players that he wanted in January. Right?
No, it's not 15, Lee. It's not 15, you know. It's not as much as that.
How much they get?
He's on
10 million. It's 10 million.
Yeah,
for the whole
it's going to be 10, and then I think the coaches get $1 million a pop, don't they? The four coaches.
So whatever you say is 15 million, right? 14, 15 million.
It's 10 for the whole staff.
Oh, it's 10 for the whole staff. Okay, 10. Yeah.
10, right? 10 for the whole staff, 14 here or there. But really what he wanted was 25 to buy some players in the January transfer window. The timing of this is absolutely crazy. And what it points to, from my perspective, is owners and governors who do not know what they're doing. They have taken our football club, which was profitable before they came, and they've turned it into an asset-strip business. And that's what it is. We are now going to be, just like Ez said with Chelsea, we are now basically going to be like Brighton, like Spurs, which are just, if we get top four, if we get the occasional cup run, if we get an occasional win, we're going to be happy with that. And the only person that was there willing to go through the project of turning Man United around into something decent was Ruben Amorim. And he was going to go through the project. And we were 6th in the league right now. This is crazy. It doesn't make any sense to fire this guy right now. It makes no sense at all, as far as I'm concerned. But there we go. That's me. And I know there are people that will disagree with that.
Okay, just before I bring in JP and Big D, and obviously as needs to jump off in the next 8 minutes, his team, or 5 minutes, should I say, because his team will be going away to Fulham, West London derby. Come on, Fulham. Okay. Right. So I just wanted to just read this thing here, because exclusive Man United, obviously we know he's been sacked. One of the reasons behind it, if we just go down, Wilcox had intended the meeting to be a positive one at the evolution of the team. But when the system was raised about Amorim going to a 3-4-3 formation, the Portuguese coach blew up, according to his sources. Now, we know that Ruben is quite stubborn when it comes to formation and playing, 3-4-3 or 5 at the back, or you want to call it. There was a couple of games I talked to with Jason. He was saying, great, he's gone to a back 4. Then he's blaming the media for poking the nose in. Gary Neville, the players can't live up to the what's the word I'm looking, the pressure on all of that. And I think if you go into reading to more, he felt that maybe he wasn't allowed to manage the club. That's maybe why he came up with the old manager thing or whatever. He couldn't just talk out wildly. He had to do it in a way that if they did say, like, it's untenable, he has to go. They know they had to pay him out and that. So just talking about him and his the fact that he's stubborn. And Leon did make a point that he felt that the board needed to back him more rather than sack him. Should have put that money towards players and that. Well, he's had a lot of money to spend on players. There's a stat out there in terms of I think they had 200 something mil on players, strikers. In Bremer, Cunha. A lot of money's been sent. Sesko, who's not really clicking at the moment. So JP, let me come to you. Essentially, the question I'm going to ask you: do you agree with what Leon is saying, or do you not agree?
I disagree very politely with my friend Leon on most of what he said. So he makes a point. Of course, we all know about the leverage buyout of Manchester United and the damage that has done to the finances of the club, and the structure of the club is broken and all that stuff. I get it. I agree with that part. The reality is, what people forget is Sir Alex Ferguson worked under that structure for years. And won in that structure too. So it's not impossible to win in the structure. Right? Let's be frank and clear about that. Also, when you look at Ruben Amorim, he said he didn't want to come in halfway in the season last year. Right? Fine. They told him you got to come. He came. No one made him come. He decided to come. Then Ruben Amorim said, well, you know what? He went on the worst run I've ever seen the United team go on in my entire life as a fan. Last year, the end of last season. We finished 15th. We play a Europa League final I've never seen a performance like that before in my life. It was embarrassing.
In a
As a
final,
United fan, in that final against one of the worst Tottenham teams you're ever going to see.
Terrible.
All right, and it was unforgivable. Even then, I didn't want him to get that. I thought, give him a chance. Right, gave him a chance. He actually said he would prefer not to even be in Europe because he would want the time of one game a week.
Yep.
So we're not in Europe because of the abysmal performance. So we're getting one game a week, and you're looking at the performances, and you're saying, "What is this?" It was atrocious. Leon, you can't tell me you're watching our team and you were feeling positive with what you were seeing.
Jay,
listen,
all right, so Jay,
let
me come back here. Right? So I hear your point, and there's nothing that you're saying that's actually wrong, but it depends for me what type of club you want. I don't necessarily want to be a club that is skipping managers every year.
I couldn't care less. I just want to win.
But
Liam, can I just come in here? Why did it work? Why did it work? Why did that model work for Chelsea under Abramovich?
I think maybe because of what Ez was saying, because Abramovich was throwing money at the club. It was his toy. That's such a good analogy there. Abramovich was like saying, okay, you know what? Whoever's going to win this season, there's as much money as you want. Go buy the players you want. Go and get me a trophy. And United are not doing that. United are not doing that. United are not doing the same thing. I don't think we're going to be the club that's going to be, firing managers, getting new managers every season. That's not the way we're going to get a sustainable club like Man City, who have won how many championships in the last 10 years, like what we did.
Man City sacked managers
until they found
the guy. And they bought in an established guy. They didn't need to work out, is this the guy? They got the guy knowing he was the guy.
So what has it taken us 10 managers to do that, Jay? In how many 13 years? It's taken us 10 managers to find the guy.
I'm not disputing the fact that some of their managers were some of them were okay. I mean, I didn't like Louis van Gaal football. I found it quite boring. Yeah. But I'm not disputing. The point I'm making is, if the manager's not work, like, to me, it was very, very clear, very early this season, Amorim's not going to work. And therefore, what are we doing here? Are we? I don't want to be a sacking club. Forget it. Get rid of him. Get a new guy in. And get rid of him if he's not working either. Because you just need to get it. You will stumble on the right guy eventually. Get rid of them all.
I think
get rid of them all.
What it sounds like to me, that sounds like short-term thinking to me, Jay. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't sound like
you can't long-term plan. You can't long-term plan if you ain't got the right guy at the helm. Then it makes no sense. Like, you could long-term plan as City manager when you've got Pep Guardiola. You can't long-term plan with Ruben Amorim because the likelihood of Ruben Amorim being successful and being there in 4 or 5 is Lee. I've never seen a guy in my entire life. No manager can be successful when you're obsessed with one way of playing. It's impossible. It's totally impossible to be successful if you cannot evolve with football. He only wanted to play his way.
Yeah.
And he had no interest in hearing what anybody else had to say about changing his. I'm not interested in you. Because therefore it tells me you're closed-minded. And I know all managers, successful managers, everybody has that air of arrogance about it, which is great. They all need that to a degree. But one thing the top managers do, and every manager I know, has to be flexible.
They have to adapt.
And if you don't, and one of the things he's done is he's got around him in terms of his team, what appears to me is yes men. He's got all these young guys.
Thank you.
He's got all these young guys around him who just live off his every word. He's a great speaker. We all know this.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
great speaker. But
sounds a bit like Arteta as well. I mean, there seems some parallels there as well.
He's still producing results, D. Normski.
He's producing results, but he ain't winning titles.
No, not yet. That's a different conversation. What I'm saying is, this guy has no leg to stand on because he doesn't even get results.
Yeah.
He just loses football games, and he doesn't even entertain while he's losing. He bores the pants off you while he's losing. Where do I go with this? That's my point. So I understand Leon's point about trying a long-term plan, but you cannot long-term plan with a manager that he's not the guy.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to buy you players for a system that no one else is going to play.
Let me bring in Big D here. Big D, right? You've heard kind of the two sides and stuff like that, and obviously, I just want to kind of get your thoughts on the ownership, the Glazers and Ineos, because when Ineos came in, we thought, hey, maybe things are going to change. You know what I mean? You know, I think you reiterated to me when we was talking on the phone the other day that really Ineos should have just gone in all in and bought all the shares. So I need to find out who, because the fact is they could have sacked this guy. You know, Waha put it in the chat that you took over this club in 5th place and they ended up in 15th. As owners, you're looking at that and going, come on, we're not getting no Champions League money, blah, blah, blah. We spent lots of money on wages. We're keeping players that should have left the club from a long time. Luke Shaw, do you know what I mean? Maybe Casemiro, I don't know, but they're still there. Is it a combination of Ineos, the Glazers, Ruben? Was it just a bad mix?
Yeah, you have to you have to blame both sides of that coin, and just listen to what Leon and Jason said about the finances. Somebody, and you have to remember that the somebody is Sir Alex, unfortunately, and I love Alex for what he done, but what Alex did with the horsey stuff to allow the Glazers in the first place. Remember, I think it's the McManus family that he had the horses with. When they fell out, they said, we cannot work with this brother. And because Alex was already successful at United, the directors weren't going to kick Alex out. So what they said, okay, we'll sell our shares. Now, no one envisioned the Glazers. No one envisioned that the UK government would allow an American company to come in to a top British asset and dump 550 million debt on it. And that's what happened. Because I'll tell you now, you're not going to America and doing that. You're not going to go to American sports team and dump that kind of debt. So when you look at it the other way, you're like, who sat back and allowed this to happen? Now, with Alex Ferguson, this is why I tip my hat to him. He worked under the nonsense. He had this thing about whenever we as fans wanted a player, he would say, oh, there's no value in the market, right? And be like, come on, Alex, go get him. In fact, there was no money in the market. No, not value, no money. He wanted to spend. Now, the mere fact that he had a team that was getting leggy, and he took that leggy team, as in age and whatever, and he won that title in 2013, but there was no contingency plan.
That's right.
Alex left a dead team.
That's right.
Now, if you look at any business model,
it's not his job.
It's not his job. No. This is what I would say, Jay. I think there came a point where Alex realized he didn't want to rebuild. So there's nothing wrong with with actually saying to David Moyes, listen, I don't want to rebuild this team. Come and be my assistant in 2013 season, right? Just so you can see what a beast this is and what they put on me to run. Because remember, Alex is the manager. He's not the head coach. Yeah. He's the manager, Jay. Every book started at him. I remember when Steve McLaren came in as a coach, and the first week he's there, he kept going upstairs. First 2 days he goes upstairs, Norm, and he said,
"That's right,
Alex, listen, man, everyone's down at the pitch,
waiting for you."
He said, "I know." He said, "No, that's what I employed you for. I've got paperwork to do. I've got phone calls to make. Go coach the team." And Steve McLaren was like, "You serious?" He said, "Go coach my team. I'll be down later." So this how Alex ran the club.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah. So this was his gravy. So then when he steps aside, and I think selfishly, he may have set up David Moyes, which is a bit hard. Because if David Moyes came in with that aging team and won the title, suddenly it's like, hold on, how did Moyes just come in and win a title? That's Alex just. So the level of, I think Moyes was set up to fail. Plus, I feel he was out of his debt. I would always say that. But the debt's never gone away. And then now with Sir Jim comes in. Allegedly, Sir Jim has money. I mean, we used to run the broke billionaire thing, right? But the Glazers are drowning financially, Norm. They need this input of money because the banks are calling in some of their debts. And they're like, rah. So that's why they're putting it out there. They said we don't really want to sell the club unless we get $1 billion each. I think they wanted $6 billion. So each Glazer sibling or whatever got $1 billion each. No one's going to give them that. So they said, right, we're drowning. Take Sir Jim's money. Sir Jim puts that money in. He puts another 300 million in, which he complains about. Remember in that interview with Neville?
Yeah, with Gary Neville.
He said the club made 600 million. I put in 300 million, and it's all gone. I'm like, how do we blow 900 million in a season, guys? That's a lot of money, guys. I mean, Leon's the financial guy here. 900 million was just gone. Yes, we got bills to pay. So what's happened there, as in we've reduced the wage bill, players coming in. We're not offering people 300 or 400K a week anymore. That model's gone. I'm okay with that. But when you have a manager that has literally begged 5 times for you to fire him, why you keep talking about being fired, bro? Coach the team and adapt. Now he's saying, I'm the manager. He came in as the head coach. We never had a director of football. So we decided to go down director of football route. That way there's a tandem that they meet at least once a day, whether it be before or after training. They look at what's happened in the game before and they say, Ruben, listen, man.
Already.
Sorry, let me just before you go Ez is kind of like at it, as you can see. He can see he's tapping out because his team is so indisciplined. Just by the way, they're down to 10 men. Well done.
Already.
The game just started, isn't it? It just started. Anyway.
It's about 9 minutes in. It's about 9 minutes in.
Where's the shades? Where are the shades?
Yeah.
This team,
He can't even talk. He can't even talk. Later, bro. Later.
So you have to look at and I actually understand why he didn't step down, because you bring these young coaches with you. They've all probably got young families. So you're saying, if we have to go, then we need to leave with some money. So I don't have a problem with that. It's 10 million split between 5 of them. Obviously, Ruben's going to get the lion's share of that, and they'll all walk away with $1 million each. Fair enough. I'm okay with that. But you have to remember, playing 1 game a week, guys, we are losing 4 million per home game in revenue for not being in Europe. So these guys have looked at it and said, we can't go into the season out of Europe, otherwise we are done. Because you have to remember, the Glazers, what Sir Jim did, and I tip my hat to him, putting that 3 million in got us out of jail last season. I don't see Sir Jim doing that again. He wants our Champions League money. I'm not saying we're going to get Champions League, but we've got to get at least.
He didn't put the money in for free, D. He didn't put the money in for free. I'm not saying free. I know you're not saying. I'm saying he makes it out like he just.
I know.
But
he's going to get that money back.
For it.
Yeah, he's getting that money back.
For it.
That's what I'm saying. He's getting the money back one way or the other.
Throw the money in the club.
Yeah, but it's a narrative he wanted to spin, Jay, and so the way Gary will, because remember, Gary Neville never even asked him about that. He chose to reveal that, so that tells you where his chest is at in terms of I'm going to show the Man United fans that I'm a lot better than the Glazers, because Gary said, why won't the Glazers do that? He said, I can't tell them how to spend their money. Now you know that rich folks don't like to spend their money. They like to leverage money from the bank. Yeah, that's how they stay rich. And then whenever the bank calls in certain part of the debt, they got to find a way to say, right, you know what, they need 20 million back. That's why they kept taking the big dividends. Every time they took the dividends, it was between 15 to 20 million or thereabouts. It was always around that figure. So that was showing me that this is what they're paying back to their US creditors. Because they don't run the American football team like this, guys. That team has a state-of-the-art stadium, everything. This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And whenever Man United go on tour, they never play a game at that stadium because they don't want Man United players to see, oh, this is your partner club in American football, and look how large they're living compared to your dusty, rat-infested, roof-leaking, dirty burgers, stale beer, Old Trafford. You know what I'm saying? And so you can't show the players that, wow, this is their gig in America. Yeah, this is their team in America. Look how nice these facilities are. It would be nice. Now, Sir Jim, I wanted Sir Jim to starve them out, and he didn't. He got into bed with them. So this better not be true. So for me, it's just like it's just like That's not going back to an old girlfriend.
I don't even want to say anything about that.
Don't go back to an old girlfriend. I think we've all been there.
Look, the thing is,
man.
Okay, we ain't gonna pause. If you're watching, but the thing is, yeah, right, is you desperately need to get back into Europe.
You have to know.
We wouldn't have got into Europe if Ruben stayed. I'm just being frank.
So do you think? So the question I'm asking you,
Lee,
what manager,
sorry,
what interim manager gets you back into Europe? Because
so just before, I just want to address Lee's point.
Yeah,
we're 6th in the table, granted, right, under this manager. Lee, you can't go into any game under this manager and think, yeah, we're going to win this one. Yeah, we're going to win. It's all it takes, because we're so inconsistent. We've got no consistency under him. We never have. This is why the brother can't get his hair cut with 5 wins on the bounce. Because I think he took over a year to get 2 wins on the bounce.
Thank you.
In the Premier League. So we got
even with that though, Jay, we're still in 6th position. I don't disagree.
I know, but
right?
But Lee, he took over in 5th, right? He took over in 5th, and we finished 15th. The mere fact that we scored the goal, for Spurs to get that 100 million bringing to Champions League, I'm firing him on the spot. He does not fly in the same plane back to Manchester with them players. He's finding his way home to Portugal. Don't come back, bro, because it's Spurs. They were so worthless. We scored the goal for them, and this man brought on two defenders in his first 2 subs. And I'm saying, do you not want to win this football game? It was meant to watch, guys.
Let me just throw this back at Lee. Yeah, Lee. Right, and obviously, the finance that's important to you about longevity and all of that. I get all of that. So just look at the manager, Amrim as the manager. Do you seriously think if this manager was back that he could do a good job at Man United?
Right. So let me start by answering what I don't want. What I don't want is to see a manager come in, we get a trophy, and then we got 5 years without no trophy, and then maybe we get another one, and then 5 years without a trophy. Maybe I'm just stuck on the way that it was with Fergie. Football's changed since then, but we had a manager who understood the intricacies of the team that he was working with and was able to produce consistency, 2nd, 3rd wins, FA Cup, Champions. Whatever it was, we were consistently at the top over the reign of Fergie. So maybe I'm just stuck in that kind of way of thinking, right?
But but one of the things that he did a lot was evolve.
I'll come back to you, Jay, right? The one thing I wanted to see out of Manchester United in this time with Amorim is can they do what they say they're going to do? Give the manager 3 years on the project. Yeah, if they weren't going to give him 3 years, then don't sign a 3-year contract. Sign an 18-month contract. Just give him the 3 years, see what he can do, and maybe.
Do you think Liam Rossini is going to get 6.5 years at Chelsea?
Never.
Now, do you think most managers don't live out their contract? That's just sport, isn't it?
So what's the reason? What's the reason for the contract then?
Because most of the time it's a negotiation. They're not going to sign.
There must be some special. There's got to be a special clause written in.
His contract was short, though, guys. It wasn't what I call a full length contract like what Chelsea are giving out.
I think wasn't it 18 months?
Yeah, it was 18 months originally, and then with the one.
Yeah,
it was 18 with a 1 year extension kicking. No,
he had a 3-year deal, 3.5-year deal.
That's why I understand it.
Okay.
With +1. That's why
I thought it was 18 plus 1.
No, that's why he's basically saying I've got another 18 months.
18 months, that's right. Because he had a 3-year contract. That's how I understand.
3-year contract. Yeah.
Right. So
the club had a year.
In 14 months, he broke every wrong record. So teams are coming to Old Trafford that never got a sniff, and they got a sniff, and it was like
he's made us the worst I've ever seen in the Premier League era. I mean, you go into every game, and when you lost, you said, "Yeah, well, I didn't think we were going to win anyway."
Right.
You were bored stiff watching your team the way they played. It was terrible. They never got any better, really.
The thing is,
the position of being 5th or 6th, wherever we were, when you even then, listen, I'm a believer and I make this statement, so I'm not contradicting myself. I say the table never lies, but I think that to see this table, you need to wait till the end of the year. And I don't think with him at the end of the year, that's where we would have been. We would have been 8th, 9th, or somewhere around that. And quite easily, we could have been 12th,
well,
11th, 12th.
You keep saying that he joined us in 5th when we were in 5th place.
No, he was lower than that. I never said that. Doe said that, but I know he was lower than that.
That's what I've seen that on the comments as well. We joined
we were the second half of the table.
Right now, we are basically joint 5th with Chelsea.
What, when he joined?
Yeah, we were the second half of the table, but we was only 4 points of Champions League.
4 points of Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is, the way he canned it, and the way I think you said it, Joe, the way he came out and said, or Leon said it, the way he said, he's not bothered if you don't qualify for Europe. That way he has a whole week between games. So then you look at the Grimsby game and you say, okay, so what happened in Grimsby then, bruv? When you was making defensive subs when we needed to just put this game to bed. And so for me, if I see a manager hiding behind the bench when Bruno's going to take a penalty, what confidence is that? I'm supposed to be him. Now you have to remember, he's saying, I'm not the head coach, I'm the manager. But you were acting like the head coach, even though your deal said head coach, because we have now had a director of football. Now, it's like anything in life. If I have a qualm, I got to sit down with my governor. Now, he will say, D, you and Alex are my senior guys. You've been here the longest. So he's going to listen to me. But I'm still going to have to take my nod from him. Tomorrow he's asked me to go to Wales. I don't like to go to Wales. Not that I don't like the Welsh. I don't fancy that drive. But tomorrow I'm going to Wales because I got bills to pay. So he said, I need a favour, big man. I need you to go to Wales tomorrow. I said, nah, brother. Holyhead. Yeah, come on, man. He said, I know, but you know what? And I got to look after you. So this is me looking after you for next week. Hold it down and go to Wales in the morning. So I'm going to Wales in the morning. Sheena was like, why? I said, Sheen, it's cool. Because next week he's going to come correct because he knows better than that. Because I've been here. So there's favour there. So when Ruben's sitting down with the director of football and he's saying, listen, I'm watching you train these guys in the back four, and then come game day, you go back to the back three. Yeah. You're confusing these guys, man. So I need you to stop confusing the players, because I'm telling you now, players were going to Wilcox and going to their agents and saying, listen, he's having us like idiots on the training pitch.
Do you think it's player power that got him out? Do you think it's player power that got him out?
No. I think they had enough.
I think there's a part. I think a lot of things were a part of it, and I think these players started to disbelieve in him. And also, if you think you're the manager, right. So act like one, because they say he's never ever been to watch an under-21 match or under-18.
And I tell you why, because they don't play in the back three, nor do the under-18s.
Because if you're the manager, you implement that across every system. Don't you? When Pep Guardiola came, when Wenger came, that's right. Everyone had to play his way.
So anyone you call up, Leon, they know the system. Yeah. They're not saying, you know what, I never played in that
didn't care about them.
Am I going to be a wing back? That's what I'm saying. Am I going to come there and suddenly he throws me in that wing back? I stink the joint up, and there's my Man United career over, because we're not playing that in the 21s or the 18s.
So ultimately, what we're saying then, it's still, like I said, it's not a manager issue; it's a governance issue. He should never have been given the job in the first place. Then
there you go. Thank you.
I agree with you, Dean.
So Leon, okay, he shouldn't have been given the job in the first place. But what I'm asking you is, do you think that he's a good enough manager to manage Man United? Because I think what I'm getting from hearing from JP and maybe Big D is that he's not a good enough manager. So I'm saying, do you think he's Do you think because you're looking at his record and it's not very good, but you're saying give him a chance? Do you think that he could potentially be a good manager?
So part of my day job, right, is to look at things from both sides, right? It's to look at things from both angles. All right, that's what I do all day, every day. So on the first angle is no, he's not good enough. His performances show you that. He's statistically the worst manager in the Premier League since whenever. We all know that. But what we also know, as Jay just said, is that he took over the team in a worse position than where he's left it, right? So in some senses,
but he also brought him to a worse position, Lee, at the end of the season.
No, you can't say that though, Jay, because that's a transition. He's left the team in a better position than where he took it over from, and so when you look at both sides of the story, the results not enough.
Lee, he left the team in 15th. Lee, what are you saying there, bro? He left the team in 15th, losing to Spurs.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what
And
I'm saying.
now, because we're 6th, you're saying, yeah, allow him because we're in 6th place with 18 games to go. Come on, man.
Of course, I'm giving you both sides. Of course, last season's result was terrible. 15th is never ever good enough. A shocker of a Europa League final against a terrible Spurs team, which we should have wiped the floor with. Never good enough. But if you look at it from last year when he got hired to this year, we are in a better position in the league than when he took over. So that's actually.
You're saying based on Leon.
That's right.
Hold a minute. So Leon, based on that, you're saying then that he should be given a chance.
Stats don't lie. You just said that we were better now. We're in a better position now than when he took over last season.
I think. Okay, I'd rephrase it. We're in a better position in the table. We're not a better team.
Thank you.
We're not a better team. That to me, like people kept telling me about our stats. Oh, look at us. Oh, look at our XG. Look at all of this stuff. But I'm as a Man United fan, I basically watch every game. And I don't see what the XG is telling me. My eye test wasn't telling me, oh, we're so attacking. We're so this. I didn't see it.
That's what stats are for. That's what the stats are for.
Yeah, we were better. Yeah, but Lee, you know as well as I do, as football fans for a long time, you trust your eye too, though.
Yeah. Back in the day, we didn't. XG didn't
exist. There was no stats.
Yeah, we just it was eye test.
Especially when you go to Old Trafford and watch the game, Jay, and you've been
modern day football.
When you go,
go on.
No, I'm saying when you go to Old Trafford and you don't watch it on the TV, and you see what you don't see on the TV, you can see progress, or you can see players that literally blag their way through a game. Like I used to watch Luke Shaw do this, and I say, Luke Shaw ain't really running, And I know he can run. He can get down the line and put, because he's a decent crosser. So when I used to go to Old Trafford and watch Luke Shaw on that big money mugging us off, I'd be like, he's strangling for that because he's a senior pro now. He's no longer a 23-year-old Luke Shaw from Southampton or whatever he was when he came. And so there was so many players doing that, going through the motions, not tracking back, all these things which you don't always see when you watch it on Match of the Day or you watch your live game, because the cameras don't cover every angle of the game, which is what it is. But when you go to Old Trafford and you watch it, you can see it really puts a shift in. And so we've been like that for so long, and I'm glad they've curbed the money, Lee, because I think the money became a problem. These big wages became a problem. So a player on 400 grand weren't even bothered if he got benched because he's still getting his money.
Getting paid, yeah.
Yeah, and so that sends a wrong message as well to players that are out there, like literally bursting their lungs, and he's sat on the bench and he's on way more money than me. So suddenly there's a bit of resentment, and we know it happens. We know they internally bet with each other, and there's bragging rights about who's got the best whip and who just put the new pool in the yard and all the rest of it. Who's got the golf simulator and the pitcher put in the back garden. That's how they talk, because they're earning a phenomenal amount of money for their age, especially the guys under 25. If you're under 25, Lee, and you're pulling 100K a week under 25,
you don't even know
it's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, it's loads, yeah.
And there's only so much things you can buy.
Haaland just scored, D. Haaland just scored.
He heard me.
He heard you, mate. He heard you.
So, brother, it's a penalty.
It's a penalty, but
I'll take it now. I got the armband on him. I left the armband. I actually baited out my old group and said, are we taking an armband off Haaland after 3 blank weeks? I'm trying to bait them into not catching him, knowing for a while that I was leaving it on him, you know what I mean? But I try to work a little brains there, a little mind games. Yeah. But honestly, guys, it's a shame we have to go down this route. I think firing him, does it put us back? He has a tread in water for sure. But what I know is that we have to qualify for Europe. We cannot be going this one game a weekly. Not Man United. That's not our model. And even though we've reduced the wage bill, not making 400 mil a week extra because we're not in a cup game or we're not in Europe that's criminal, man. No team can sustain that, especially a team with our ambitions saying we want to build a new state. How we build a new stadium when we're not in Europe? How's that going to work? It's not. We're not building a new stadium. They're just going to patch up the Dusty Stadium.
I don't hear you putting any responsibility on the owners of our club, though, D. I mean,
I did. At the beginning, Leon. This is what I'm saying. Look at my thing. Glazers out.
Yeah.
Big Man United Brazil Glazers out. It's been there for what? How long have I been on there, Norman? 3 years now?
Long time. Every week.
It's been on there.
Our owners are a joke.
Green and gold until the club is sold.
Get them
gone. And I wanted Sir Jim to get them gone. And I hoped he would get them gone, and he didn't.
But he's not better than them. By the looks of it, the way things are going.
I said to D, I think I said this to you, right, D? That annoyed me. As soon as Amarin went, what's annoying me is they're sacking him because he said something about them, not the result.
Exactly.
That's the bit because he really, by right, should be sacked on results.
Yeah.
That's what I said in the thing. I said when he talked about their mother and their father, they took out the cutlass for him. They ignored the bad results. But the moment they troubled, like, what, my name? Who's he talking about? You're talking about me getting gone. And you have to remember, this was a Joe Glazer call. Remember, Joe Glazer still is the head honcho when it comes to the calls. So Jim would have said, are we going to allow this, Joe? Joe said, getting gone. How much do we have?
Apparently, Joe Glazer wanted him gone in August. If you read the article that came out yesterday in The Athletic, Joe Glazer wanted him gone in August. Like, he just wasn't seeing any progress in the team.
So Jim convinced him, didn't he?
It wasn't necessarily. So Jim was unconvinced at the back three, and so Jim wanted the back, and so that was getting on his nerves. I think was that he felt like, Sir Jim, who are you telling me how to play football? And then Jason's obviously like saying, because Jason Wilcox didn't want him. So what annoys me about this is what I don't like about Manchester United. So I'm gonna go because we're starting our game in a minute.
Yeah.
This is what I don't like about Man United
as well, because I've got another stream.
Is that with our team, right? You get us to the point where we are always the ones who want to make these big statements or come out with we're proper spin doctors. So they came out and apparently that it was Dan Ashworth that was like, don't get this guy. He's gonna go against everything that Man United
stands for.
The way Man United play, it's not gonna work. Apparently, what the Athletic article was saying is that they put out all this spin that he wanted Southgate, because if you say that he wanted Southgate and all these dead managers, you know Man United fans going to go uproar. I was like,
that's right.
Be sacked on the spot, that sort of thing. When really,
and that's why they fired him, wasn't it?
They fired him because Barada was going all in on this guy. Barada wanted him and Jason Wilcox was on the fence, and he came round. So now you've got the key team who are saying and this one guy saying no, this guy's not right.
But if you look at Barada, right, you have to remember that because one of them was still on the gardening leave waiting to come to United, that decision, because it was rumored that decision was that he's going to go to City if United don't take him. So we looked at the name, looked at the profile, we said, you got to come now. It's now or never. Now, for me, if I'm Ruben and I'm saying, at this moment, this is a train car, I'm saying, well, it's going to be never then. Because I guarantee you they would have gone back for him in the summer.
They would have come back for him 100%.
I guarantee it. So he should have held out. There was no gun to his head. He's in a very comfortable position at Sporting.
What difference would it made to us as a United fan? It would have made no difference.
Exactly.
Knowing what we know now, it would have made no difference anyway.
Yeah. So there's certain things where I think Ruben set himself up in terms of you allowed them to bully you, when the truth is they weren't sure what direction they were going to go, and you wasn't their number one. And then you have to remember, two of them coaches that were doing well, De Zerbi and the other brother, I forget his name now, they allegedly they turned us down because of
apparently De Zerbi asked for a mad number.
Yeah. And they said no.
They were like, no way.
Plus he wanted the manager role, not the head coach role. De Zerbi said, I need to be the manager.
Well, apparently they're looking at De Zerbi again for the summer.
Are they? Well, he's going to come back with the same request, isn't he? So then him and Jason Wilcox going to have to find a common ground to I'm happy for us to wait till the summer as well, guys. I don't want us to rush this next appointment.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
well, let me just conclude with this, because obviously I know another stream to go to. Let me just say this. Yes, it seems like this wasn't a marriage made in heaven. As you can see, both have divorced, they've parted. But listen, sometimes they say you need to turn it around. You need to go and settle down for a bit, and then maybe there's probably a new bride out there and a new groom out there. And listen, the guy in your picture right there in the frame, Mr. Ollie at the wheel, could be the one that takes you back to Europe. But listen,
peace out.
But listen, I just want to just quickly, I just want you to just quickly I'm just gonna add this to the, if I can add it. Why ain't allow me to add it? I don't know.
Is it not there? No. Am I still sharing?
Listen, I'm gonna head out while you guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go on holiday, right?
All right,
yeah. Big up, JP. Big up every time. Big up, me. Yeah, I'm trying to get D to just share the before presenters. Oh, right, okay. I won't allow me to do that. Okay, I've got to move this. I'm sorry about this. All right, let's do this.
It's not going to show the. It's just going to show who's top. Let me get the picture.
Yeah. If you just quickly do that, so and then the what's going on prediction league table, and then I'm out of here. And people big up to everybody in the chat every time.
Just quickly, so I'm going to go.
I'm going to jump as well. Norman, thank you very much for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's an interesting debate. Listen, everybody. Listen, we all have our opinions and everything. I think one thing we all want is to win. We all like football, you know what I mean? And as I say, the football that I'm seeing, this modern day football compared to the football that we were used to back in the day,
different, isn't it?
It's just look, the standards need to go up. The standards need to go up.
And I do love having conversations with the same. We support the same team, but we see things slightly differently. It's good. It's a good little tussle.
Respect you. Thank you very much, Lee. Really appreciate it.
All right, man. Nice one, guys.
Look out for the next invitation. I'm sure.
All right, peace and love. Yeah, catch you later.
Take care, bro.
Yeah, so
just quickly,
thank you, everyone. Just stay with us. We're nearly when it's coming down.
Coming down.
The Bruised Banana straight after this. So please go over to Shane when you leave this.
Right. So the scores we're seeing now are from game week 20. So we had a top scorer of Mark Connolly, he's in 15th then with 77 points. Our top guy Dale Grady 67. The guy behind him 60. So there are big
hitters. Still up there, still top.
Still top. Until obviously this game week's going to kick in now. Yeah, he's still top. Me and Malcolm X are tussling between 16th and 17th. Me being 16th.
Yeah, she wasn't too happy about that. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, and then Ez has dropped. Ez is below us now, which is mad. And my brother JD is below us, which is like,
oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Just bring up to Leon again. Thank you, Leon, for
man. So what I would say is that this game week is very important for some shifting. So we'll see how we go, Norm. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll see.
Fulham won, Chelsea. Harry Wilson again.
I tell you what, he's on good form, him, Harry Wilson.
Yeah, he's very much in good form. Very much in good form. And you're
has he always been at Fulham?
Yeah. He was at Liverpool.
Liverpool. That's what I thought. Yeah. I know he was somewhere big before that.
Man City won Haaland penalty. So they're now currently 3 points behind us as it stands. Yep. So
Normski, we're tight, Norms.
Yeah, massive game. We're tight. Big D at the top there on 17 points. I'm on 16. Chile on 16. Kofi on 14. Ez on 10. And JP on 7. Listen, it could be a fight between Ez and JP for the forfeit in the summer. Even though a forfeit is owed to JP, he will still be doing that.
Oh yes, he's still got one, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still got one to do. So he could have a double forfeit at the end of the
season.
Whammy. Or he might have to share it with Ez. So we'll see what happens. As I said, myself and you up there and Chile, and we keep going. Aston Villa against Crystal Palace half time. It's 0-0. I actually on our prediction league table, I think I said 2-1 to Aston Villa. So let me see if I can at least get Aston Villa to win the game and get a point. I'm not going to probably get the exact score, but it is what it is. But listen, big up to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for staying with us. I know,
as always,
other people are streaming and the football is on tonight, so I know you've got one eye on that. And big up to Leon for coming on and putting forward his case and stuff. You know what I mean? As long as we're respectful, and that's what we were tonight. And big up to the chat as well. And subscribe to the channel. Please smash the like button before you leave. And anybody that's watching this on Afterplay, please sub to the channel, hit the like button. As I say, on the road to 1K. It's been a bit of a journey. The Fulham goal's been disallowed, so it's still 0-0. Still 0-0. So,
they've done 10 minutes. They 10 men Chelsea.
Yeah. Chelsea down to 10 men in discipline. Chelsea. But it's been a fantastic. Big D, thank you very much. Really appreciate it every time, man. Always. And listen, we're going over in the next 8 minutes. The Bruised Banana will be kicking off. I'm going to go grab myself a cup of coffee. I told my missus so she knows that I'm streaming back to back. So she said, "Yeah, you're cool, man. You're cool on this one." So everybody that's in this chat, just put in that Normski raid. Bruised Banana, and what can I say? Normski Raid. Can we believe? That's it. Normski Raid. Yeah. Put this in the chat. Normski Raid in the Bruised Banana. Can we believe? Yeah. And then we'll see. But listen, next week we're back. Obviously, looking at game week 21, and obviously any controversies, any more manager sackings.
Right.
West Ham, bro, they're treading thin water right now. Nuno, is he gonna have a job? We don't know. He could be the next manager coach, so we'll see what happens there. But it's been a great show. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat. Big up to everyone. Nice. Please like, subscribe, and share. And until I've just missed that. The next saga, and that will be next week, 6:30. Be there or be square. Bless up, everybody.